2K in live that I've accomplished a poster with John Wall. So that's a check in the bucket list right there. All right, so whoa, okay. Now, one, I was trying to do that move that Wall had done last night, where he would just go to this point on the floor. He has the guy. The guy obviously is overplaying him. I want to I want to cross over and burn him to the lane. So he can't. So he crosses over while he's facing that way. So he's not in position to really do anything of that nature. Now let's go back. All right, so I got. Okay. Live 14 last year would have completed that crossover while he was being juked out, and I would have just driven straight at Birdman. But it does the moving crossover, which looks good. And the moving crossover, the animation, not the connected animation, because I wanted this to still be a standing anime. I wanted him to cross him over while being still and then drive, but the animation chose for him to do it as he's moving. And then of course the poster, I don't know who that is on, like the physicality. And that's good that I have a poster in both games. But I still think the poster I had in 2K was a lot better when I dunked on Amari Stoudemire. Alright, back to the game. Is this game? Oh, not back to the replay. Back to the game. I'm probably not going to be able to come back in this game, but who knows? You just never know these days. Yeah, you can boo all you want. And we got some Washington fans in the stands. I do see them, I spot them. Yeah, give me that. Let's go. I got Garrett Temple that doesn't look like Garrett Temple. Alright, go with the pick and roll. Alright, kick it back out. Alright, pick and roll again. Oh. No! There we go. Now the funny thing is, Live 14, I would have been able to complete that play and Wall would have had the basket. Easily.
Blows past his man. Shot clock to 5.
I left him wide open. That was my fault. Damn. Alright, here we go.
The Wizards with the ball in control. Wall against Chalmers. There's the perfect pick.
Good block. There we go. Good follow by Gortat. Let's go. I'm saying let's go. We're down by 15.
There's nothing to be ashamed with on that possession. That was a well-contested shot.
I timed it perfectly too. He was bringing it down. Yo, that should have been an easy rip. That should have been an easy rip. It should not have been a foul. He had it way up above his waist and was bringing it down.
Feeds his way to the basket. The Heat with control on the rebound.
They left Birdman. Okay.
Miller bringing it up.
It's called safe play. No, I did not. Okay, there we go. Good hook. There we go.
48% from the field tonight.
Hey, they're racked up a lead here in tonight's game by playing this type of defense. Yeah, the guy scored on this
Yeah,
possession.
we're going to stay on Chalmers. We're not going to sink to help anybody.
Tonight.
Granger against Pierce.
Of course, Danny Granger didn't play in the game last night.
Whips it up. Amazing.
Sometimes the simplest plays are the hardest ones to execute.
I don't have to go back and replay that to say that was bullshit. But, okay.
The Wizards with the ball here.
There we go.
To the rim.
There we go. They did a better job with how Nene looks than he did last year. Last year, they didn't have his dreads tied up versus this year, which I'm. Nene, you got him. Thank you. Let's go.
Pierce into the front court.
Okay. There we go.
Nene's backing down to the low post.
Come on, you got him.
And just on the way to the rim. Can't get the rim drop. Chalmers set to bring it up. Oh, he beats the defender. Chalmers on the drive. Fires away. Gets the shot.
I probably should have stayed right there. All right, here we go.
15, Mario Chalmers.
All right.
Here's the screen. There's the double team. Nene fires away. Shot
Poise and precision.
That took way too long. That took way too long.
That's a, I'm going to try to get us back in and be a hero type of shot.
gets it off. That's a two-pointer. Pierce the rebound.
Pierce will always be remembered as a Celtic. Someday we'll have his number probably up in the rafters at the Boston Garden. He really has come a long way from earlier in his career to what he became.
Gortat shot blocked. Nene's trying to get down low. Pierce against Granger. Gets in the paint. Pierce forced to shoot. Puts it up. Off the ball. Gortat shot swallowed.
Damn. Miami playing that defense inside, but these, it seemed like whatever animation they had, they're taking too long to play out. It's the same issue that happens in Madden. You have animations that take too long to play out once they're active, at least in 2K.
Nice.
Get how that didn't get blocked. No, Mr. EA Sports, I like 2K better than live. I had to say, which graphics wise, what looks better? 2K.
The Wizards with the ball. Control. Pierce against Granger.
I don't know. Hold up, let me look at that. Wow, that's the second time I've had that happen. I've had this happen before. I showed a couple of friends of mine on Twitter where, see, this is where I wish I had the ability to control, because this is a situation where I want to lob it in. But the game chooses this. To throw a bounce pass right through, is that Granger? No. Yeah, it is Granger. To throw a bounce pass through Granger and right there. And I sent tweets, I think the first night I was playing live, and this is what I was talking about. The fact that this is a situation, well, one, there's two things can happen. It can do a wraparound bounce pass to Nene, and Nene would get it in position. You could lob it in Nene. Nene has position there. But the game chose to throw a bounce pass right through Danny Granger. The left on the L stick to try to get that wraparound, that bounce wraparound animation, but it didn't happen. Wait for Live 16. Why should we have to wait for Live 16? They actually, Live 14 actually had the wraparound a lot better. And you had the ability to do live. I just don't like the fact that they took away control aspects and made it, and it seemed like they made it contextual, and a lot of times it still doesn't make sense. All right, back to the game.
Miller against Chalmers. There's a turnover.
Like, I wanted that pass to Nene the moment he came off that roll, and it did, and the computer played out played a different animation that I was not intending for it to have to do. Okay. Okay, let's go back. All right, Nene set up.
Pierce against Granger. 5 remaining on the shot clock. Just gets it off in time. Won't go. And the scoring drought goes over 3 minutes. For 2. Unable to flip it in.
Well, if you don't like scoring, this is the game for you.
Wow, in more ways than one.
This is the one, because both teams are really struggling to put the ball in the basket.
To the basket. Gortat the rebound.
All right, let's go. Push it, push it, push it.
To the rim.
There we go.
You want to keep attacking the
I
basket.
used freestyle passing on that one, but I don't like the both games flip. Matter of fact, all games do it.
What's the thinking here?
Did it make you mad? Yeah. Live shot release for players are way too bad. Yeah, and they don't have everybody's signature shot, so you can't really go by that either. To go back to the clipping, yeah, all games do clip. It's just how bad do they clip is the question that pops up in games.
The ball in possession.
Yeah, it's a 20-point game. This is pretty much like
Chalmers on the drive. Nicely executed.
this is pretty much like the Knicks Bulls game last night.
Basketball, good result.
All right, let's go back to running plays.
There's the pick. Miller against Chalmers. Gets the
There we go. It's funny, I didn't realize Paul Pierce has 20 points.
Look at the
I made Paul Pierce a premier scorer in this game.
the battle, the arc, the follow through. That's a big achievement.
Wade draws the dunk. On the reverse. Gets it to go.
Look, you can't give up layups like that. You got to protect the basket and the paint at all costs.
The Wizards with the ball in control. Nene on the drive.
Really? He didn't need to do all that.
Shot clock to 2. Pierce. It's good. And 1. Got there late. The foul called against Dang. And Paul Pierce will
I think live
2.5 minutes.
14 had potential. Live 15 has potential.
And earn your way.
But I think in some ways, Live 15 took a step back, and I'm just talking about the control scheme.
The ball here.
I think they had the right control scheme last year. Wow, they had another 3.
With his 3rd assist of the night.
They about to have 100 points by the 3rd quarter.
3-point Chalmers. The Wizards with the ball in possession.
Okay, there you go.
2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. The screen is set. Nene for 2, shoots away. Wade the rebound.